Woohoo! I'm back, baby! How's it going, everybody? Back for my Tuesday talk. I know it's been, I looked it up on my little binder that I keep, and it's been 3 months to the day. 3 months ago on the 17th, April 17th, was my last one. Been away for a little bit, you know, no excuses, just trying to think about some things and kind of decide if I want to keep doing this. It is a lot of fun for me, as well as I've gotten some good feedback from a few of you, so thank you very much. I really do appreciate it, and it does help me, you know, want to keep going and doing this thing. And I had mentioned before on a post I had done recently that whether it's for 3 people, 1 person, you know, 20 people or whatever, I do this for me as well. I like working through some thoughts and getting things out, and hopefully it does help some people, but I think it's a good thing. So I'm going to keep doing it, and here we go. I wrote some notes down in my little composition notebook, boom, today on what I wanted to talk about, and I kind of jumped around a little bit to a few different things, and then I put it down. I went to lunch, and I thought about it. I said, nah, I kind of want to touch on some of those things, but really what I want to talk about is making deliberate, conscious decisions. You know, working or doing things, what's best for you, what's best for your family, the people that you care about in your life. And I'm gonna kind of flip it around a little bit. I feel like the last couple, you know, posts that I did, I was kind of saying, you know, you should be doing this, or you think about this, and talking to people out there. And I'm gonna do it a different way, where I'm gonna talk about me, not in a you know, narcissistic way, but just about, this is what I'm working on, and this is how I'm approaching things. And then hopefully, you know, you can maybe think about some of those things and see if it helps you, you know, dealing with some of the things that you're going through. I think, you know, I know a lot of people, and we're going through a lot of stuff, whether it's, you know, good stuff, bad stuff, troubled time, you know, trying times, things like that. And, you know, there's no easy way. And I think for me, what works the best and what I've been finding success in is being very deliberate about the decisions and the path that I'm taking down, you know, what's coming up down the road for me. Sometimes it's preparing for the worst, hoping for the best, but being ready for everything in between. Sometimes it's just saying, this is what I'm doing now. I'm working on my health. I'm working on myself. I'm working on how I treat other people. I'm working on my relationships across the board. I'm working on how to be a better dad. I'm working, whatever it is. But I'm making a conscious decision about it. I'm not getting so caught up and swept away in just the momentum of life, or letting, you know, circumstances dictate my decisions and especially my actions. So now what I do is, when I see something coming up, or not even, won't even start there. I'll say it like this. So with this podcast, or, you know, post that I do, I made a conscious decision. Instead of getting wrapped up in, oh, well, it's, you know, I only have 3 people or 5 people that like it or whatever. Instead of getting wrapped up in that aspect of it, I just decided, but Eric, do you enjoy doing this? Is it fun for you? Is it helpful for you? And I said, well, yeah. I don't really talk to myself that way, but you know what I mean. And I said, I'm thinking, yes, it is helpful for me, and I do really enjoy it. And I deal with things on a daily basis, and we all do. And sometimes we don't have, you know, sounding boards to bounce things off of. You know, I do have my wife, and I do have my parents, and I do have my friends. But sometimes I just like to get it out, you know. And that's kind of what I decided, that this is what I'm going to do now. So I made a conscious decision and said, this is what I'm doing. Once a week, I can do it. And sometimes it may be 5 minutes. Sometimes it may be 20 minutes. You know, I try to keep it around that 10, 15 minute, you know, sweet spot. But this is what I need to be doing. So I made that decision. And then I said, okay, well, I just got to make sure I carve out time. Is it going to be difficult sometimes? Sure, because I try to do it around my, you know, with my lunch hour, or like today I'm doing it, at the end of the day. And, you know, it's difficult sometimes to work the time in, but I just decided I have to do it. I'm going to stop saying you. I'm just deciding that I have to do it. And it's the same thing with, it could be working out, it could be eating right, it could be taking on a new hobby, it could be spending more time with your kids. You just decide, this is what I'm doing now. And if it takes more time, sorry, I said you again. I've decided if it takes more time, then I have to adjust my schedule. Whatever that means. If it means I have to move something around, if it means I have to go to bed a little bit later, if it means I have to get up earlier, if it means I have to put something, push something back a little bit more that I really want to do, but I don't have the time right now because this is what I need to be doing, that's what I'm doing. I say all this, man, I'm not 100%. I'm definitely not. I'm always a work in progress, and this is no different. I still get caught up sometimes in circumstances. I still get caught up in momentum of just every day, wake up, get ready for work, go to work, come home, do family stuff, go train, work out at the house, run errands, do laundry, whatever it is. It's easy just to keep, in that kind of hamster wheel feeling, and I really don't like it. I don't like that feeling of I'm allowing life to just take me along for this ride, and then I wake up and what did I do this weekend? What did I do this last week or 2 weeks? Or what am I doing with my life? Am I doing all the things that I really want to do? And if I'm not, I got to change that. I refuse to wake up as an old man or 5 years down the road or 1 year down the road and saying, I just wasted that time. This is not, we don't get a reset button here at whatever age, 80 years old, 100 years old. We don't reset, start back at the beginning and learn from all the things that we did wrong the first time. It doesn't work that way. So I want to enjoy this thing as much as possible. I want to do all the things. I used to want to be some, crazy executive and, have this big fancy title and this big desk with, my name placard with my title on there, senior vice president, whatever it is. It's not my goal anymore. My goal is to enjoy life as much as possible, to do all the things that I want to do. Okay? How do I do that? Now, it may mean for a period of time I do need to work harder. It does mean that maybe I need to do something else on top of that, or in lieu of that, if another opportunity came around. But I still have to find that work-life balance. I have to find that balance that's not going to really mess with all the things that I love doing. Spending time with my family, going to visit family that doesn't live here, spending time with my friends, doing all the things that we love to do with them so much, training jiu-jitsu and working out and all the other things that I want to do. So that's what I've decided. That's what I'm working on. And some of the other things are other aspects of my life that I know I need to work on. As good of an upbringing that I had, and wonderful parents and wonderful people around me, and I've been able to develop a lot of really good characteristics, and I'm very proud of that. But there's still a lot I got to work on. There's so many things. I'll wake up some days and I'll think, why do I do that? Why do I act this way when this happens? I have I don't say an anger problem, but there's things that'll upset me, and little things. Someone will cut me off or whatever it is, and I immediately just, get infuriated. And later on I'll think, why am I letting that affect me so much? Why am I allowing outside influences to, manage my day and manage how happy I am? Like, I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm constantly working on that, constantly working on finances. I'm constantly working on, my relationships. It's always this ebb and flow. And just when I think sometimes, okay, I got everything nice and cool and I'm working on it, I'm good. And then boom, something happens and it throws something a little out of whack. And, whatever it is, that's my part of the responsibility within that relationship. I'll say, I didn't handle that right. I should have been better listener. I should have not taken it so personally, whatever it was. And so I'm trying to be more conscious of that. I'm trying to work on my relationships, work on, keeping the people around me that I love, keeping them happy with how they feel about me and the relationship that we have together. My friends, especially, wanting to make time, whether it's, hey man, you good for lunch? What do you want to do? Let's go meet for lunch. Or hey, let's go out and have some drinks after work. I haven't done that in a while. But, or just call them up, text them. Hey, I was thinking about you. What have you been up to lately? You know, I have some really good friends that I train with that text me and say, you know, hey bro, you going tonight? You're going to train? And, you know, they keep me accountable because I need that. There are times when I don't feel like doing things that I know I need to do. So I want to be better at those relationships. And if you're out there and you're watching this video and you feel like, oh, well, Eric hasn't called me or Eric hasn't texted me in a while, you know, I'm sorry. You know, that is my fault, my responsibility, and I will be working on those things. So I will be reaching out to you. I will be making sure that the relationship that you and I have is a good, solid relationship. So, and that's another thing that I'm working on. And I'm doing all these things because I want to do this. In my head, it just makes sense when I say I want to make these deliberate, conscious decisions. I don't want it to be a situation where something terrible happened to somebody and I'm rushing to call them or text them, hey, are you okay? What's going on? What's going on? I'd rather be in contact with them and they see, or I'll be in contact with them. So if something happens, I'll still call them up and make sure they're okay, but I don't have this kind of guilty, you know, conscience about it where I'm like, man, I wasn't a good friend. What am I doing? I haven't talked to this person in 3 months. You know, something terrible happened. You know, what kind of a friend am I? I don't want to feel that way. So I'm making